Am I
What a
hearing
disaster.
myself?
Finally.
Noise suppression, would that actually get rid of car sounds in the background?
Okay, yes. Okay, finally. Okay.
Only
There
been
we
on for
go.
a couple
Okay.
seconds.
Okay, so
Whose channel is on?
this thing is finally freaking working. Okay, so
No,
for
it's not.
some okay. I want to say this is my channel. But Josh is having to stream off of his OBS because mine isn't working. So I keep on hearing myself too, so I don't know why this
The ATF and the IRS.
Just pay the taxes
keep
already.
making history.
Yeah.
Pay your taxes, John.
Stop making Waco memes.
Stop making Wojak memes about the IRS
Yeah.
and paying the IRS.
Okay.
All right.
So
Quick rundown.
after that brain seizure of a
Do you still want me to
start.
share it with the website?
Yes, please share it.
Yeah.
Channel's
Yeah.
on.
It's on mine. It's on mine.
Hopefully this is the last rundown we have to do.
Yeah, just walk up the hill.
Hopefully this is the last time we have to do this.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm the Christian historian. I make Christian YouTube videos. I haven't been able to because the tree went through my window and went through my PC. But I'm trying to make videos on my phone. Hopefully I'll have one up by the end of the month or something.
I'm German Empire Ball. I make alternate history videos, and I'm currently writing a script for my next one.
I'm Radosław Gabowski on the Action Polonaise channel. I don't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm Kid Thor, aka Quick History. I make history videos. I'm making my first good one right now.
And then I'm Cynical Chicken. I don't think I need an introduction. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I am the NNM of alternate history. I diss people. Is that true? I mean, is that kind of true?
That's it. I'm going to the IRS.
Yeah. I murdered the IRS. I'm the one whose channel is this on right now, but Josh is streaming because my OBS wouldn't work. So I'm working
All right,
on
man.
this.
Introduction's finished. Let's talk about some
Okay.
stuff.
Talk about the topics. Where are our topics?
I think first they should be in serious discussion. Our first topic is what are some positives and negatives of Biden's presidency so far?
Positives,
Everybody want to
it's not
start?
Trump. Negatives, everything.
Okay, fair
Let's
enough.
do a big think.
I would say the only good thing he's really done, and it wasn't really him, it was more just the government in general, was the Hong Kong resident extensions, and they are evacuating the Afghan interpreters and whatnot, which I'm not sure if Trump would have done. But
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I like that we're getting out of Afghanistan. I like that part. I can't really think of much else. I mean,
He's strengthening Taiwan.
yeah, I like the fact that he's pretty firm. I mean, I think he's firm on his foreign policy because Putin and Xi Jinping kind of troll him and act like he doesn't exist and refuse all of his political meetings. But at the same time, I think it's good to have
some of his one-off actions are good.
Yeah, I think it's good that he has a bit of an iron fist when it comes to China. Maybe not Russia. Russia doesn't really need an iron fist because it's a falling superpower. But yeah,
China needs some vibe check.
I still believe Russia could be a future ally. It's just as of right now, it's not possible because everything they do is pretty much against what we want to do.
Yeah.
But how about you, Radislaw? How does the Polish people feel about Biden?
Well, are we going to talk only about positives or are we going to say about negatives?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, so I have a big problem right now with Joe Biden because he allows Germans to build the Nord Stream 2. And it's a great threat to the Eastern Europe because Nord Stream 2 is a tool for the Germans to create a sphere of influence to, I don't know how to say it. Okay, so German idea is basically that you promote the green energy, you go against the coal power plants, you go against the atom power plants, and you push the idea that everything should be ecologic. So countries like Poland, have to give up their main source of energy, and then Germans will use the gas they bought from the Russians to create power, and they will sell that power to the Eastern Europeans.
And I'm guessing it's pretty hard for Eastern European and Balkan countries to just switch over to green energy on the dime.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know about that. That seems pretty rough, honestly.
Hey Josh, can you put this on your channel thing, quick? All right.
What's next?
The next question was:
should the
Should
U.S.
the
be
US
so
be
involved?
in the Pacific?
Yeah, such as promising to protect Taiwan and trade wars with China.
It depends on the. Depends.
Depends on the on what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think that we should be aggressive with it. Like, I don't think we should like make first moves. But if like China is taking action, such as like if they're conducting like military routines and loading up the Taiwanese Strait with their navy, I think at that point we should start like heightening tensions. Once they make it clear that like, hey, we're going to attack one of your allies, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like probably right now. I'm actually surprised that Japan. Did you see Japan join like the Taiwan Pact or whatever, where it's like the list of countries that like promise that if Taiwan is attacked, they'll go to war? Because like America. Yeah, I'm sure they have.
But no, I mean Japan is like the
Sure,
one nation
Japan doesn't want to go
they've been
through
like
that again.
begging the U.S. to send stuff to Taiwan.
Yeah,
I think we
Japan is
should.
really just trying to start World War III. They just want to invade China again.
I think we should send a good portion of our navy to defend Taiwan, or at least keep it near Taiwanese seas, just in case. And then
I
when
think
war,
the U.S. government should just recognize
Well, yeah, we
Taiwan.
already are. Like,
well, like,
But,
still
like,
seven
send-
of our
There's like freaking 4 aircraft carrier fleets out there.
yeah, but
what
we've
I
still
mean
got,
is, like-
7 of our war fleets in the Atlantic, and it's like what threat do we have? Like, what threat for our aircraft carriers do we have chilling in the Atlantic? Like, maybe you can
the
keep one.
Atlanteans, they're going to attack soon.
Yeah, the Somalians are going to
yeah,
come around and
yeah.
hijack our
Watch it.
boats.
As soon as the U.S. Navy moves to the Pacific, the freaking 50,000 Russian submarines are just going to appear in the Atlantic.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe
I don't think Russia
valid
would get
threat,
really
but-
involved in a war
Because
with
the
China
NATO
and
general
US.
said that he's like saying that all the Chinese subs, they're going to go to the Atlantic, not the Pacific. They're trying to trick you. So we got to put everything in the Atlantic.
Maybe I'm thinking maybe Russia. I don't think Russia would get involved, as in like give troops or like naval support to China to invade
They
Taiwan.
probably
But
give like
but they-
advisors and stuff like they've done before.
Yeah, and they might take the chance to, while like the rest of the world is busy over there, they might take the chance to like make moves on Ukraine or whatever they've been trying to do for the past few years or
Baltics,
so.
Poland.
Probably. Especially with how much they've been building up a lot in the Caucasus and Central Asia against the Taliban.
Yeah,
It's like
Georgia,
all of Central Asia is just a
Armenia.
puppet now.
I think
It's-
personally, the U.S. should partition Afghanistan into the Taliban
Huh?
areas and the non-Taliban areas.
Honestly,
yeah, you know,
probably
like
work.
it doesn't sit well with me, like morally, that we like just left them out to dry, and now the
Yeah.
Taliban are gaining like huge land. But also at the same time,
I agree.
we tried, and like it didn't
No
work,
one-
and a lot of people are mad that we tried, and so we're like, fine, deal with it yourself and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so if Afghanistan turns into a much like more back end underground Iran and turns into a complete Islamic Republic, fine.
Pretty
you
much
guys
is an Islamic Republic right now.
Yeah, but
be
like, I mean,
honest.
if it's run by the Taliban, it'll probably be a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Out there.
I don't think
Yeah,
it was
like-
a great idea to leave Afghanistan.
I mean, I
thought
think
it was
that we didn't.
good.
I don't think that we had much of an option. You know, it's just like
I mean,
it's either
they
we.
just fucking used fucking flamethrowers on the fucking tunnels.
Well, yeah, but that'd be a war
we
crime.
tried that
No
in
one even-
Vietnam and it still
Bomb
didn't work.
shit.
Hey, war crimes are based.
No, war
War crimes are only good if you win that war.
Seriously,
Yeah,
they were.
yeah.
There was
Because
literally
that's the
a point
British.
when they were just in the mountains. Do you know how
I
easy
guess-
it is with incendiary bombs to just burn out a mountain complex?
I mean, I guess.
I think the
like,
problem was we sent in.
I guess-
I think the problem was we sent in Marines, Marines.
Yeah.
Water soldiers, and sent them to a freaking
the
desert.
water boys.
Dude,
into the-
dude,
the mountains.
Marines are
Other-
like one of the best. Marines are like one of the best soldiers out there. Like they are the
White
best
soldiers. Are they gonna
independent
stay near
military
the
branch out
rivers?
there.
Come on. They probably got their motorboats. They're like, come on, we got to take down the Taliban.
Like,
the Marines are
We're
so
gonna-
good,
let's
they're
paddle.
practically a
Let's
cult.
paddle.
Yeah, I think.
Marines are
I don't think
practically a
it's.
cult.
I don't think. I mean, I think it's
If
just
we had
big
an
superpowers
insurgency-
have a problem. I think like big superpowers in general have a problem with like dealing with like lesser. I don't know, a lesser, more determined population. Like for instance, like think about like Rome and when they invaded Germania, right? Like on all
Or-
aspects, Rome should have marched over them. And like same with us. Like look at us in the Gulf War. Like I watched this one video of like whoever our commander like or our head general was in the Gulf War. And he was just like basically bragging to the rest of the world, like, hey, in the matter of 100 hours, we completely stomped the fourth largest army in the world. So it's like I think when it comes to like big army on big army, we win every time. But when it like obviously
Guerrilla
as we've
warfare,
seen in
yeah.
like
Well,
as we've
The
seen
one
in
reason I
Vietnam.
would say about that is like the U.S. policy with invasions, places like Vietnam, because there was a huge difference between how the U.S. fought in Vietnam and Korea. In Vietnam and in Afghanistan, they wanted to do that whole get the population on our side by like not really fighting. You know, you wait until they shoot at us. And there's stories where the soldiers literally have to watch the Taliban walk by with their AK-47s, but as long as they don't shoot at them, they can't kill them, and then they get the advantage position.
Man, another
I just
note.
think
I
that
mean,
the U.S. worried
Yeah.
way too much about its image in Afghanistan than actually trying to beat the Taliban, which I think would have equaled out. You know, it's not purposefully war crimes. It's just, you know.
Just pull in Israel and bomb everyone.
that's another
Yes.
note.
Yeah.
Like if your enemy is committing mass war crimes, like the Taliban obviously didn't take prisoners, and if they did, they torture them and stuff like that. Like they committed war crimes everywhere, right? And so like,
Black
is it
Hawk
moral if your enemy commits war crimes for you to commit war crimes in return?
I mean, it's
I
like
mean, I don't
most of
think-
the war crimes by the Geneva Convention are just like stupid.
Well,
It's like,
I wouldn't
yeah,
say
there's some
most.
good ones in there,
I wouldn't
but like,
say most.
and
There are
there's a good
some.
portion
There are
of
some
them.
pretty.
That's like,
There are some pretty good ones
it's
that have
war.
helped
That's
everybody
like
else.
the point. You're trying to make war moral by saying that's too bad or that's that's fine. You can beat someone to death with a club until they don't even have a head, but using a flamethrower that's no.
I'm getting Eastern Front
Sorry,
flashback
gamers only.
from World War II. Soviet policy on Eastern Germans.
Yeah, and I mean,
Hey,
maybe it's just that.
the tanks can't drive themselves.
Battle of Berlin.
Sometimes they can.
Have you seen that story of like when the Soviets, or I don't remember if it was the Germans to the Soviets or the Soviets to the Germans, but there was like a piano in the middle of nowhere, and they made like one of the soldiers play the piano,
Oh yeah.
and if he stopped playing
Yeah.
the piano, they'd shoot him. And like guy played the
Yeah.
piano for 20 hours until he fell asleep, and then they shot him.
Yeah.
They shot him.
Yeah, it was an SS officer. He was captured by Soviet forces. They forced him to play the
Yeah.
piano.
Okay,
wasn't
that's
he a
killing
thing-
Nazis.
wasn't-
Imagine if he didn't
semi-famous
know how to play
pianist.
the piano.
I mean, either way, I would have been okay with it. Killing Soviets and Nazis are a good day for me.
Yeah, communism sucks. So does Nazism.
Speaking of Soviets in Afghanistan, I never knew like just like the horrid things that the Soviets did when they invaded Afghanistan. Like you look at like go to like Google population or Google population count, and then go to Afghanistan, and like during the years that Soviets invaded Afghanistan, there's literally a dip in the population, right? Like there's a noticeable like difference because the Soviets didn't care about war crimes. They'd slaughter everybody. But even that's why I think that like even if we did like just go full force, like total war, right, and don't care about war crimes, I think it's just.
I mean, it's not don't care about war crimes, but I mean, do you remember that story? It was like
if we had the Soviets' morality
that had gotten ambushed, and the higher command wouldn't give them any support because they were too close to a village, and
I
saw a bunch of them got killed because they wouldn't give them support. It's like that's stupid. You know, it's supposed to be you're caring about the soldiers first. You know.
I think we've sat on that topic for a while now. I think we pivoted from U.S. involvement in the Pacific to Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
All right. So
talk about the stupid transgender athlete thing.
Next?
Oh yeah,
Olympics.
The Olympics.
Okay, so you know that transgender athlete that was competing as a woman but was pretty much a dude?
Yep.
Yes. What about it?
He missed his, missed their last weight, so he didn't win, and when he had the best advantage.
Could imagine.
Didn't he get gold though?
No, they missed their weight. They're like they weren't able to pull it up.
Bro, imagine cheating and still losing.
Also, while we're on the topic of like, I don't know, still like with China in the Olympics, I just think it's hilarious that like China threw an absolute fit to the Olympic Committee when they were like introducing the countries, and then they showed China without like Taiwan on their map.
I didn't see that. I didn't see
how many medals Taiwan got.
Chinese
and Hong Kong.
Lost their mind. Yeah, they just lost their mind. And also, I think, I mean, like, I don't really, it sounds bad, but honestly, I don't really care because, like, it doesn't really affect anybody. But I just think it's, like, kind of disrespectful that, like, Chinese announcers, when they're, like, covering events where we have, like, Chinese American Olympians and they're competing against Chinese, like, they call them, like, a slur, which basically translates to, like, filthy traitor or, like, race traitor or something like that. It's like, dude.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I wonder why those people are in America now. I wonder what possible, like, motivation they could have for, like, moving out of your country, dude.
Yeah, the U.S. is like the polar opposite of China. Like, we consider everyone, no matter the race, American. But China, no matter your country, considers you Chinese, and it's dumb.
This actually reminds me of a video of that comedian. I think he's called Jimmy O. Wang. He goes, "So I went to my dad one day and I said, 'Hey, Dad, after 30 years, do you still love Mom?' And he goes, 'Love? Your mom married me to escape communist China. Not love, that's a good deal.'" Oh.
As far as the Olympics goes, I'm sure that I've seen what's the medal count now? Like, we're behind China.
They have 30. China has 37 gold. We have 32 gold. We have 100 medals. They have like 91.
Okay, well, still, I mean, I have hope that we can, and even if we don't, like, China, it's going to take them, like, at the rate that the U.S. and China compete, it's going to take them a good 50 to 100 years to catch up with our gold medal count. So good luck with that.
I don't think they're not even in the top 10, and we have like 3,000 medals. Right. They would never.
Syria got 0 medals, 0 gold. 0.
I think Estonia got their first. The only reason why I know Estonia got their first medal ever was because of that one dude. But
and
they only got
all-time medal.
Because I remember the gold medal count used to be 0, and I sent a screenshot to him, and he threatened to ban me. But
Syria only got one bronze medal.
The USFZ
San
can be
Marino
sketchy
also got their
sometimes. The
first
USFZ
ever
can be
medal.
sketchy.
yeah.
Let's see
But,
doing. Portugal got one gold.
What's up next? Oh yeah, this is the one that Radislar kind of wanted to talk about. How much is the U.S. to blame for the state of Latin America right now? I saw that there was a post on a website that all of us mutually go to, and there was a I think he might be in the stream right now, but I'm not going to say his name because I don't really want to shout him out. But he basically said that a lot of what Mexico's problems are, or a lot of the problems that Mexico faces are directly because of America, and that it's sad that there's not much that he can do because a lot of the problems are unsolvable by Mexico or something like that. So yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, it was kind of both. Like U.S. taking all that land.
Yeah. Like the
War.
U.S. really screwed them over with the banana republics and stuff.
Banana Republic.
Yeah, I agree that like I don't necessarily think like some of the people do that like it's no it's entirely like self-determination. America had no role in that thing. Like I understand like the 60s and what the CIA did as far as Latin America. I mean my grandpa was in the CIA, so I can't really like be mad at it. And like it's just like it was either we had control over them or our enemies had control over them. And so it's just like American people versus Soviet people. And so I know it's bad to talk about it like that and completely dehumanize a nation like that. And it sounds really neoconservative of me, but like I think it's just
I think they were screwed.
I don't know what else we were.
I
don't know what else we were.
America, Soviets, Europe. Someone was always gonna.
It was just. It's just the state of the Cold War.
Over by everyone in history.
I think a good part of it was also themselves, but I think that just might be me being biased because if you look at them during their monarchy days, like the Brazilian Empire under Pedro II, the Mexican Empire under Maximilian I, they were doing good, and then when they were gone and republics were put in, it all sort of came
under Maximilian I. They were never doing good. So like the other,
there's never any good times under Maximilian. Never.
I mean,
I'm talking about like he ended serfdom. He built more infrastructure. He made better education reforms.
Maximilian I didn't even own half the country. Like half the country was owned under rebel control.
Yeah, going into that point, like Latin America has never been a stable like area in the first place. Like even in like the 1920s, Mexico was like the borders. If you would have drawn them between various rebel groups, would have looked like China at the time. Like it was completely fractured, and like Central America, they tried to unite, but that only lasted for like 10 days, or not 10 days, but like I think it was like a couple of years. And then they completely fractured. Gran Colombia, that didn't work. They completely fractured. Like I don't know. I guess I can't really have anything negative to say about like Argentina or Chile that like wasn't
United
completely
Provinces of De La Plata.
Yeah,
the
like
Falkland War.
Those guys split up. I mean, Chile. I mean,
I know
Pinochet is entirely like on our hands. Like we put that dude. It's undoubted that we put that dude in power.
Yeah,
but
Brazil,
Chile is cool.
Chile is Panama. Like they had so much freaking U.S. intervention, and they're pretty stable. They're rich. It's like even Puerto Rico. They have bad storms and poverty from all the hurricanes, but it's like. The places where the U.S. still has a lot of influence are now actually better than the places where the U.S. stopped really having influence during the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Our friendly Brazilian resident tried to make a point that somehow the U.S. ensuring that Brazil has free trade is controlling their trade or something like that at some point. I think that a lot of I completely understand why Latin Americans would be very adverse to any form of American intervention ever in the area. I understand, right? Because American intervention doesn't usually spell good times for the people. But at the same time, Right. I think that like completely like taking out American like influence in Latin America would be. It might sound like pretty high horse of me, but I don't think that'd be the best thing for Latin America because like a lot of Latin American countries rely on America for like economic prosperity. You know.
Especially the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Just recently,
we get
we had
there.
at the yard sale, and there were a whole bunch of Dominicans that showed up, and they were like, "Oh, we send all this back to our families in Dominican Republic."
Yeah, half of
Like,
their
a lot of people
economy is
actually
based
come
off
to
of.
America just to send stuff back or take stuff back.
Personally, I think they should have their own self-determination on their own course. Like,
Same.
like
You can't always
British
rely on
Empire,
another
like,
nation.
like it's kind of like us with Latin America. It's kind of like the British Empire telling us, "Oh, you're a lot more better off than what you are right now." Like,
yeah,
I guess it's
pretty. Yeah, I just don't
can't always
think that
rely
like,
on
we're entirely to blame. I think that like the area has never been like the most stable region.
Of
It's had
course,
it
but I mean, like we
ups
played a
and
big
downs.
part of that.
Yeah.
We screwed over Mexico a lot. So
I mean, I think most of the Dominican Republic's economy is based off of just like the Yankees sending money back home to their families. I think there was a good quote by Will Ferrell. There's nothing more American than watching 9 dudes from the Dominican Republic make magic on the field.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah. And Brazil kind of screwed itself over. What was
monarchist?
Pedro II was very good. He had no childhood and was so determined. And then they got rid of him because he wanted to ban slavery. And it all kind of went downhill.
Well, while we're on the topic of Latin America, do you think Cuba will actually drop communism? Like, do you think the revolution will last?
I don't think.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully they don't drop communism.
No. Hopefully they do.
Okay. Yeah,
I hope they do drop it, but I think the best way they can drop it is the U.S. intervention because the people can't really do much because they don't really have guns. No, I'm talking about
isn't there like a fleet of like hundreds of Cuban Floridians just sailing across the Cuban Strait right now, on their way with like guns and stuff? That's the libertarian dream.
No, it's that's they're conservatives. They aren't me.
Sadly,
Sadly.
But I don't know. I haven't heard much, probably because the Cuban government isn't too fond of letting the world know how bad things are over there. But I mean, I haven't heard anything negative like it's been put down.
Ignore all this stuff. Look at our beaches. Oh, aren't they so nice? Ignore all this. Ignore the poverty and stuff. I mean, we got
literally half of Havana being in ruins.
Ignore half the country. Just look at those nice beaches. Don't you want to lay?
Ignore the 3-hour-long.
Ignore the genocide. Ignore the shootings.
Okay, so this tanky, I was talking about it. I was debating with this tanky, and whoever was. They said that in some cases, the embargo did not affect Cuba. Cuba ranks much better than most capitalist countries in Central and South America on a number of metrics, including healthcare, for example.
Well, like
what?
I hate how tankies and socialists always like cite the literacy rate. Right. It's like, oh, well, their literacy rate grew. I'm like, yeah, the people eat trash and are like half of your population is in poverty, but at least they can read. Right. I feel like that's like that's not a very. That's not as important unless they really want to. Seem to make it. I mean, like, sure, literacy rate is important. Like, if America had 0% literacy rate, it'd be like in pretty bad state. But
that would be the rural South.
Yeah, but if
I'm insulting my own people.
Yeah, if the Confederate States of America actually lasted, they'd have probably 3% literacy rate. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I probably dissed a few people that are watching your stream right now. My bad.
Base.
Stop.
Base.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, honestly. Like, the revolution seems like it has a bit of steam, but or the counter revolution, I should say, like the revolution to like bring democracy back. But I don't know. I also don't think
democracy is cringe. Republicanism is based.
I also don't think that
No.
if I don't think that if they do like get rid of the Castro dictatorship, that they're going to completely drop like all aspects that have been involved in that. You know, I'm sure they'll have free healthcare and like socialist policies still. It'll just be slightly more free market. Like maybe they'll do like what China did, where it's like they call themselves communists still, but
it'd be a lot like Sweden or Norway, something like that.
Yeah,
Sweden used to have a heavily socialist economy, but they're liberalizing right now.
I really shouldn't say this. I'm gonna say it though. What if we make it a Royal Spanish Dominion?
No, shut up! Shut up!
Oh my gosh!
Shut up!
I mean,
Spanish. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll stop. I was just trolling with you. I was doing a little trolling.
Okay, just like
one quick thing I figured. Speaking of Hitler and Sweden, one quick thing I figured out is that Sweden like dropped eugenics only in like 1976.
Yeah, dude.
Right, which is like recent history, right? So like they like if you had any form of like mental or physical illness, like they'd castrate you. I mean, okay, this is gonna sound horrible, but I can't like deny the results. Like Swedish women are beautiful, but okay, that's awful. I mean,
is your girlfriend on right now?
Okay. Your girlfriend that.
It's awful. It's awful, right? It's awful. But like, I can't like. Swedish men are all like 6'2" and built, and
the Viking genes.
I'm not saying that we should do it, but it turned out pretty well.
Well,
all right, what's next?
To be honest though, PewDiePie did get Best Looking Man of the Year award.
What do y'all think of Canada right now? I haven't really like read much in the news about them recently, but I know like they're pretty much in martial law and like you're not allowed to like go to churches and like some churches are being burned down. I don't think that's all like the root of like the same problem. I think it's like different problems sparking up, but
only Quebec minus Montreal is the good part of Canada.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to, but I hear. Okay.
That's my view of Canada right now. It's a big fat.
The Queen needs more authority over there and tell the Canadian Liberal government to freak off and reinstate the church.
I don't know.
They aren't liberals. They aren't liberals. They aren't.
They
liberals.
They
aren't. If they were liberals, they would be asking for freedom, not anti-freedom.
I think
they're classical liberals, which I still don't like.
Crazy.
No, they are not. They are not.
I think it's kind of crazy that like, Canada and the U.S. have a negative immigration now, where like more Canadians are coming into the U.S. than U.S. into Canada, which has not happened in the past 20 years. But now it is because a lot of people are like fleeing because like they're not allowed to like worship at churches. Like I've seen like plenty of videos of like pastors or preachers getting like arrested because the government finds out that they were hosting like private sermons, and it's like, dude, what the?
What?
Like and like there's a pastor that's being jailed for like 1 year for like violating like Canadian law, and they also like have this thing where it's like you can like have charges put on you for like things that you say on the internet. Dude, we would be so effed if we lived in Canada, bro.
Yeah, we would. Well, I would live in Quebec, in my opinion. I would live in Quebec City because it is based. Oh, my favorite Canadian song is called "Degeneration." It's a Quebec song.
French.
It was basically talking about how the
you get all the positives of French culture without like actually having to go to France. Yeah,
like in the song.
I had a friend who went to Quebec, and according to him, all of them were a-holes.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Which I guess is expected
So are we.
French.
So are we.
All right. What's next? What if Trump won? How do you guys think a Trump presidency would have looked like?
We'll have a Capitol riot.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. For the first weeks to months, it'd probably be just like riots everywhere. Okay, chicken, we get it. You don't like Trump.
Right. Trump would try and stabilize the country, but it would most likely fail, and I think civil war would be inevitable.
I don't really think that, like, I hear a lot of people saying, like, civil war and, like, U.S. balkanization is, like, on the horizon. But I don't think it's, like, that pressing of an issue. I don't think we're
balkanization. I think it's.
I don't think we're in such, like.
Think of it like a succession. You want this guy in charge, but instead you got this guy. So you're gonna fight. I don't think
it's, like, that big of a. We're not in such dire straits that, like, a single presidency would, like, completely, like. We're not in the same state that, like, the country was in, like, when Abraham Lincoln was elected. Like, it's not that serious. I think, like, a lot of people would be mad, right? Maybe there'd be riots and stuff, but I don't think, like, you'd have states seceding or something like that. Maybe some, like, crazy
generations reading history books.
Maybe some crazy politicians would, like, push that, like, this was a fake election again, right? But what's new? They did that for 4 years with, like, Russia, with no evidence that, like, Russia intervened in the election or something like that. Yeah.
I think well, like, one mayor, like, some crazy mayor from some city would probably, like, we need to secede or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Like Portland.
Alabama tried to do that once. Alabama tried to do that. It was back in 2016.
I don't think.
I like my cousin.
I think, honestly, as much as I hate to say it, Biden being elected is probably best case scenario for, like, political unity, you know, because like a lot of moderates have been, like, turned off by, like, Trump and stuff for, like,
I feel like
unity. It's a bunch of bullcrap.
And yeah, and, like, I mean, like, if there was a better person that could have offered it, I would have totally taken them other than Biden. But, like, but anyways, back to, like, what Trump presidency probably would look like. I think, I mean, obviously, we probably would have finished the border wall. I don't know if we would have pulled out of Afghanistan. We probably would have.
Well, actually, Trump was making the move. Trump was making the move to move out of Afghanistan.
Then I think we have, like, lower vaccination
just went with
rates.
it.
I think Trump would have a more aggressive take on Cuba, maybe.
Yeah. Same here. I think he would have been, like, pretty interventionist down there, and also, we'd probably have lower vaccination rates just because, like, I think it would honestly flip it on its head. You know, like, I think maybe conservatives would be more open to vaccinations since, like, Trump endorsed it. Well, I've seen like past tweets of, like, liberal. I've seen, like, the memes of where it's, like, liberals or not liberals, leftists being like, I'm not going to take some hooky dooky Trump vaccine unless you hold me down into a chair. And then it's like 4 months later after Biden's elected, it's like, can't wait to get my vaccine. Right.
Well, what I'm very surprised is that Trump wasn't pro-lockdown or trying to stop the virus. I was very surprised by that. Do you think he would be the one that would be hard on the virus? Like,
I think he's still like, trying to appeal to his base, and, like, I don't know. I think he's
China.
I don't think he'll win the next Republican primary. If I'm being honest,
I thought he wasn't allowed.
He doesn't. I would.
I thought he wasn't allowed.
I'm gonna be honest. If DeSantis, if he does a few things in the next couple years and stuff, I might vote for him. I might vote Republican.
And Trump knows. Yeah, I can vote next cycle too, which is crazy. And Trump knows that, like, DeSantis is his biggest threat. Like, I don't know if this is intentional, but, like, in a lot of, like, Trump speeches, when he used to call out DeSantis, and about every other speech that he did, like, he hasn't like praised DeSantis for anything in the past, like, 2 months. Probably because he knows that he's the governor of of Florida. And he's like,
okay, that's his name. Oh yeah, he's very based. I live.
Yeah,
I'd rather have DeSantis as the governor of Texas than Hot Wheels right now.
He's focusing on literacy right now and education stuff here in Florida.
Literacy.
He also,
like education, education stuff. because we're
He signed
Southerners.
in some like softcore ban on abortion. I don't think it's like a full out ban, but I think it's like it banned late term abortions, which is
Did you
good.
say literacy?
Uh-oh.
The literacy rate is up to 99%. Who cares if our people live in abject poverty and we have families of 7 sitting in a 36 square foot apartment complex? Yeah.
If it's more than 2,
at least their malnutrition is getting treated without cost.
If they're more than 2, kick them. Tissue.
It was. Yeah, I don't think it would be good if Trump won.
All right, last question before we take questions from the chat.
Wait,
U.S.
wait,
riots.
about...
Oh yeah, you can talk about
U.S. riots.
Let us talk about the U.S. riots.
Okay, U.S. riots are left-wing riots or right-wing riots? Right-wing riots worse? And do you think political violence has worked in America?
Depends on the riot.
But do you think left-wing riot, or I mean, just left-wing?
He's saying which one would work?
No. That's a wrong word. It's peaceful protest.
Oh yes, the left-wing peaceful protest.
Here's my opinion. Think of it more of like boxing or like punching. The leftist ones were all over the place. So like bam, 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 bam. But then the right wing one had that big one in DC and was like bam, that had just the same impact.
Like right wing.
So
I don't think right wingers don't riot much, right? I don't think they riot as frequently as left wing rioters
whenever
do.
They riot,
but when they do,
it hits hard.
When they do, they make sure that like everybody knows that they're mad about something. Yeah, true. I can understand that.
Yeah. Just get rid of the media in general. Let's get rid of news outlets. Let's go back to newspapers.
Don't pull a Ronald Reagan.
Go back to newspapers.
Go back to newspapers.
Get out,
I live
dog.
near.
Get out.
I live near Richmond, and so like I don't like live in Richmond, but like I visited Richmond, or I had to drive into Richmond during the time that the riots were going down, and it was crazy, dude. Like it was like middle of the day, and there were just fires everywhere. And, like there were windows busted in, and it's just like, God, I will never understand it. Like if you're mad at the government, like the only thing I can respect about like right-wing riots is that when they're mad at the government, they take it out on the government, right? But like when when left-wingers are mad at the government, they take it out on like everybody else except the government. I mean, they try to like break into city halls, but they're not very good at that. But like when they can't break into city halls, they just like burn random dudes' cars down and bust into Aunt May's mom and pop shop and steal everything in there. Take her poor pies that she's worked on for all day.
So from my view,
not bueno.
Like from what I've seen from the culture and the media, that left-wing riots are more culturally accepted, while right-wing riots are more not accepted.
Yeah. Like any right-wing riot is treated as like Nazi party trying to take power in America, while left-wing riots are just while left-wing riots are treated as
no erection, like, according to Chuck Schumer.
These people are angry, and these people are angry for a good reason. I understand why they're killing random people that they think are against their policies and burning down half of the city. But it's okay. This is completely peaceful. I love the freaking meme where it's like it shows 2 headlines, and like the first headline was like some guy, it was a reporter, and it says peaceful. It says mostly fiery but mostly peaceful protest, and there's just like there's like a building in complete flames behind them, and then like it shows like the Capitol riots where it says Capitol rioters absolutely disgracing democracy or something like that, and it just shows like all the rioters like walking in line, like going in like the outlined line that they're supposed to like get into the room. I mean, like obviously the Capitol riots weren't a good thing, right? And the only positive thing I can say about it is that it kind of reminded the the politicians, like who they work for, right? That like they can't just.
And we
make
got the
decisions.
Viking guy meme. We got the Viking guy
Yes.
meme.
We got the
gosh,
Viking guy meme.
Someone turned the Capitol riot into the Fallout New Vegas ending. Caesar, they made it the Caesar Legion ending. So he goes when it goes to the Viking guy and all of his guys in DC. They go. Caesar entered the strip as though it was his triumph. They pushed the NCR back to the Mojave, enslaving much of the population and peacefully lording over the rest. And it shows Biden and his wife. And he goes, the mutants headed south towards Caesar's.
Mutants.
Through Caesar's
I'm about to
land.
meet you. I'm about to meet you if you don't stop talking about Fallout New Vegas.
But it's good. Aber, True Kaiser.
Fallout New Vegas is a very good game. Always.
It's good, but it's getting annoying.
What was I gonna say? The thing that I hate the most about the Capitol riots is like, I don't like the fact that the Confederate flag was waved inside the Capitol just off of like, just purely patriotic reasons. Like,
I don't like that the "Don't Tread on Me" flag was waved. That's why I don't
flag.
like.
The Gadsden flag has been completely massacred by the U.S.
Lee and
conservative movement, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Dude,
imagine Lee and Stonewall Jackson just looking down,
my flag is
and they
stained,
see
and I hate it.
Imagine Lee and Stonewall Jackson looking at what's going on, and they see DC with Confederate flags, and they're like, "Too late, 100 years too late."
All right. I guess we should go into like the second part. Do you think political violence has worked in America?
No.
Nah. No. None.
But there's a difference between violence and revolution. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, both.
I think we need a revolution.
I think it's
a monarchist revolution. Every man.
Okay. I think a lot of conservatives like overplay the effect that the American people were okay with like the Black Lives Matter riots. Like I had some like liberal friends or like leftist friends, I guess, who were like kind of like who were mad that like people were burning down like Richmond and various other capitals around the Union. But I think it was just the massive publicity that the Black Lives Matter movement got, right? Like they got ESPN and like every major media outlet to just bend the knee and completely submit, except for like Fox News, of course. But like,
and what annoyed me the most was after the Capitol riot that Fox News played it off. They played it off and like acted like it was completely normal.
Yeah, it makes us look like a bunch of hypocrites, right? And it's like we can address like when we make a boo boo, right? The Capitol riots were a boo boo, but yeah. All right, I think it's time to take stuff from the chat.
Well, right. Can we wait. Okay, while they're putting down their questions, can we talk a little bit about a little thing called Sinus Romanum?
Oh, yes.
Radislav.
Sinus Romanum. Romani Imperiolium.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what to say about it first because it's awkward. Mithraism is based.
No, it's not. So
it's not based.
His little horse war mod about like what was it like if the Roman Empire didn't exist?
What if the
classical era never left?
Okay, shut up. What if Europe remained Latinized?
Okay, so this timeline there is no Christianity because I guess the
Judea remains semi-autonomous and.
Okay, so the Jewish people aren't oppressed, and so a Messiah isn't needed. That's the logic behind it. Obviously, I don't really believe that, but
I don't believe it either. I don't believe it.
It's a fictional world, right? So I'm going to
fictional world.
And so to fill this hole, there's this thing called Mithraism, which is it's a mix of like Zoroastrianism, and it takes some elements from like Islam and Judaism, And it's kind of weird, but
meshes it with Roman culture.
Yeah, and meshes it with Roman culture, and somehow it works in the fact that you need to be nationalist in order for you to be a solid part of the religion, which Chicken, I think, has an explanation for it. It's like...
It's because basically, so kind of like how there's the Drudge, I think, in Zoroastrianism, and the devil in Judaism, there is the Tenebris in Mithraism. And in Mithraism, you have to serve your country because whenever there's chaos in your country and there is disorder, it is a breeding ground for the Tenebris to move in and destroy you. So that's the logic.
All right. So I think our first question is from Guy, which is, will India be a superpower? I think they definitely have the capability to. I mean, they have the massive population, but it's just like most of their country isn't very industrialized, and it's like they look like a big country, but in all honesty, they're probably in the same state that like Brazil is, where like they look big.
Come to Brazil. Come to Brazil.
They look big on a map, but in all reality, like half of their country is just like back road stuff that isn't useful to the greater thing. Also, they have terrible poverty rates. They have the capability to, and they're definitely getting up there, right? Their military power is growing pretty fast. And
their space agency.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so I think it's mostly because they're surrounded by enemies. They have Pakistan on one side. They have the South.
China.
They have China above them.
China.
And then they have I don't know if they have bad views on like Siam and stuff like that, but I don't think it's positive views. So they're basically surrounded by enemies. And so I don't know if they have territorial ambitions. I haven't looked into it. But
I think India's just trying to survive at this point.
I do think that if World War III comes, and if like NATO and America and like all the other like allied powers like Japan and stuff in the Pacific and Australia like succeed, then India will be a superpower because it will probably fill the vacuum that, say,
China would.
Yeah, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and India will fill the vacuum that China had.
Wait. It's not China. It's called West Taiwan. My bad.
Yeah, West Taiwan and Northern Japan. Northern Japan.
Wait, what? Where did Northern Japan come from? Oh, South Mongolia. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If there was
we got a question from Jake.
Kansas Union. Someone said, "What is the probability of the Kansas Union? And do you think it's a good idea?"
I don't think it's that high of a probability.
An imperialist.
I think yeah, like Britain's like making it closer. Like there won't be a full union, but like a EU type thing might occur.
Well, the reason they're all doing this is because the Queen is the queen of all these Kanzuk nations, so it kind of makes sense.
Does make sense.
It does make sense. Let's think of it like a lesser version of the British Commonwealth in the British Empire days.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a stronger NATO or a weaker EU. Like, I think it would be good. I think it would be good. Personally.
It's not going to be like a.
United
like British Empire 2.0, Britannia rules
like it's
the
not going to be like everything is like the same country, British, right? Like it's not going to make like all of their country names Kanzuk, right? But I think it would be like a strong. I think one of the things they said is that like if you have a passport in UK, like it works in Canada. You don't need a passport for Canada. And just like they want to open up trade more.
That's cool. That's awesome.
They want to open up trade more, and I guess the main reason is that they want to be less reliant on China, and which I can totally get behind.
That is always based.
So I don't think it's very possible, right? At least in the next
possible.
I don't think it's possible in the next like 20 years, maybe.
I think it'll be possible within the next 10, honestly, because like after Brexit, The UK is kind of alone, and they need friends, that being their former colonies.
I agree.
Let's go to Jay.
There's a method to my madness, all right? There's a method.
If there was a
question from Jake Galvin. Jake Galvin asked a question.
Jakey boy.
If there was a second U.S. Civil War, what do you think the sides would be, and who do you think would win?
Okay, I don't think it would be like a conventional civil war. I think it'd be more like a, let's say, a Syria. Like there would be multiple factions. It wouldn't be just a one-sided classic rematch of the North and South. It would be very different.
I'm not sure.
Play a major role.
It really depends on who secedes first, right? How the Civil War goes,
and how far politically we go down in the next 10 years or 20 years.
I think that Texas would be like the one to secede first.
Oh yes, Texas will just secede and not deal with y'all's crap anymore.
I think that
they are legally allowed to secede.
I think that some states would really. I think that some states would like remain in the union no matter who secedes, right? And so I think that would like I don't know, like maybe Arizona or New Mexico. Like even if the leftists,
New Mexico and Arizona would like join actual Mexico.
Well, I don't really know.
Or maybe Mexico tries to take advantage.
But what I don't know, like they might say like, oh, this union isn't the real union, like what they did kind of like with the election fraud deal. But I don't know.
I'm not sure. Like some of those like super close states, I think that it wouldn't be like whole states seceding. It might just be like there would be like half of the states secedes.
Yeah, a couple counties.
Half of the states secedes and the other half stays. Like maybe Georgia, because I know Georgia is very like teeter-tottered politically. And
it's only
Virginia might be close.
Like Atlanta is like the only area where there's not many Republicans. Like for the most part,
so I think
it's very Republican.
I think in that aspect, it might be like city states, you know, like where it'd be like random like liberal. I mean, California for the most part would probably be a huge chunk
except
of it.
Except for the north, Except for the
north.
Yeah.
And the north would probably secede from the south with California.
But other than that, I think like maybe coastal Washington and like coastal Oregon and like Portland would secede, but like the rest of Washington and the rest of Oregon aren't really like behind what the major city is, and that's been like pretty widely known. So
yeah, I have a friend from Washington, and he did not like it. So.
Yeah, I think it would probably be like maybe city states, and I think it would be along like probably political lines where like the South and the Midwest would generally like stick together with like some parts of the Pacific Northwest would tag along with Idaho and stuff. But
except for the South, they might go AWOL and go neo-Confederate.
I think that one thing I will say is that like if it does happen, I think Z was right, or Mr. Z was right in a scenario that like if the leftists do secede, like they definitely have like the worldwide support, you know, because like
I agree with that.
The world hates American Republicans, but if they see like leftists like succeeding because like they now live in a fascist state or whatever they come up with, like I'm sure that they'd get like military support. So I don't have like high hopes.
And then there might be like a libertarian faction seceding in New Hampshire, and that's it. Sadly.
Yeah, that'd be your dream.
Maybe Maine will join.
That'd be my wet dream right there.
Canada.
All right, what's the next question? What if international finance never brought the Americans into the Great War?
Well, if you'd watch the Imperial Eagles... No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
What? Okay, most likely...
You see, there's this Hoi 4 mod called Kaiserreich, and...
most likely be like that.
Yeah, it's just Kaiserreich. What if they don't know what Kaiserreich is?
Who doesn't know what Kaiserreich is?
Germany. the Central Powers.
Germany wins World War One.
Most likely,
it
could end in an Entente victory, but it would be very
or a
costly.
stalemate.
Like it
could have been a stalemate.
Yeah, or a stalemate. Yeah, it'd be a very costly
stalemate.
Entente victory.
Do you believe Hungary will restore its kingdom, mostly citing the reintroduction of the crown into the coat of arms and the parliament building its in display of the national symbol? Do you think it will restore its kingdom?
That's a question for
saying will the monarchy return in Hungary?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so, but like
Bratislava thinks they're base though.
Yeah, they're Polish.
Of course they are.
Love each other.
Well, because of their anti-LGBT laws.
Based.
Yeah, that's based.
And anti-immigration.
Karl von Habsburg is a very popular figure.
I don't know. I don't think it will, honestly. Like I see like very little scenarios where they'd return like the king. I think probably best you'll get is like very authoritarian figures sometime soon, which they kind of already have in whatever leader they have right now.
Have that.
And so it's like
probably
best you'll get is a dictator like thing that a lot of people like, which is basically a king. What do you think the future is what do you think is the future of Africa? I don't like the future of Africa because one thing I had to research a lot.
It does not look good.
One thing I had to research a lot about is
there's already a lot of destabilization.
China has a huge grasp on Africa's like economy right now because they've done this thing where they basically go into like very poor, helpless African countries and say, "Hey, we're going to build infrastructure, right? And then you don't really have to pay for it." And so what they do is that they show up, they have like their league of like Chinese workers that show up, build the infrastructure, and it's part of like their thing because they're trying to conduct like mass infrastructure campaigns across like Asia and North Africa so that they have like easier trade and stuff like that. I don't really know what their whole spiel is, but anyways, they tell them that they're not going to charge anything, but then they like do. And so all of these, most of North, West, and like Central Africa is in complete and utter debt to China. Like there are millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in debt to China. And so China basically has like Africa by the balls, right? And I don't think Africa is going to be like a big major player except for maybe like North Africa, like Algeria or something like that. Also, Morocco will probably split up into like Western Sahara and such.
I think the only nation that has a good shot is the East African Federation.
Yeah, I saw that. But like even then, like they're not going to be, of course, like a superpower. At the very least, like they'll be on par with like average.
They'll just be chilling.
Yeah, right. They'll be on. They'll probably be like, I don't know, like on par with like who knows, Kazakhstan or something like that. Some like average.
I wasn't say Kazakhstan. I'd say probably like something like Portugal or something like that.
Yeah, it'll just be like an average country, and like maybe it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, then it goes horribly bad, and like that place erupts into civil war or something like that. I think a lot of the issues is there's huge religious tension in the area too, which a lot of people don't talk about. Like Nigeria is like one of their biggest political problems is just like North and South.
Yeah, right? They even made Chrislam in there. Like they made Chrislamism. Like I'm not joking. Like a guy made Chrislam in Nigeria because of how bad the tensions were.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like that, a lot of the civil wars that go down are like because of like religious reasons
or ethnic reasons.
Yeah, ethnic reasons, which like kind of like mix into like the religious reasons and such.
I think East Africa, because of how large it will be, ethnicities won't be as big as a problem because. Like it'll be an ethnicity who used to be rivals when they are added into this big pond with all these other ethnicities. They would be like, okay, let's come together because we're going to get screwed if we don't. So
the European nations are like, it was just a little trolling, guys. We were just trolling.
I saw that there are a few African nations that actually like petitioned to like try and get like their former like colonist countries to like come back.
Yeah, that's between mostly Sudan and Egypt, because there's that little sliver of desert that neither of them want, so they're constantly changing the borders.
Let's go to what Elliot said. Over the next 30 years, do you think Britain will see success or failure?
Depends who would be the next monarch.
Probably success. Honestly, like
They
don't have, they don't have
most
Brexit could be a massive failure. I doubt it, but it could be a massive failure.
They don't have much like. They don't have many threats, you know, and like even Russia, they're far away, and like their economy is doing good, their military is growing, their political unity, as much as people don't like saying it, but their political unity is actually like pretty decent compared to like most other European or like hell even countries around the world. They have pretty good political unity, even when the leftists lose. The leftists aren't as bad as every other place. I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about Boris Johnson. I haven't really done much.
I hate him. I hate him. I hate the guy.
I know the memes.
Christmas.
About Nigel
for Thanksgiving.
I know the memes where he like talks about his blue passport. But other than that,
ruined Christmas and Thanksgiving and is the biggest detriment on liberty in Britain in the past 20 years.
I think the biggest threat.
Biggest thing that would happen.
It's not even a threat to UK. It's like maybe Scottish secession.
Scottish independence.
Yeah, but even that's a long shot.
I also think it has to do with the royal succession because Prince Charles III of Wales isn't really too popular because he's like an ultra traditionalist.
Yeah, and also I hear he has plans to like expand the monarchy, or not expand the monarchy.
Yeah, he wants to play a bigger role in politics, while Prince William is just chilling. He's more popular than him. They want William.
Yeah, those guys are. Prince William is okay with being a celebrity. The one dude isn't.
Constitutional monarchy, just signing off laws, going to ceremonies.
Yeah,
being a unifying figure.
Britain has a shot at greatness and doesn't have a shot at greatness. It's a dwindling power. Like it's not going to go uphill from here.
Let's see. So, what about Ethiopia? What do we think about Ethiopia?
Oh no,
Ethiopia.
That place is Ethiopia is screwed. It's screwed.
No, Ethiopia is just the Holy Lands 2.0.
No.
I like Ethiopia. I love the historical culture of Ethiopia, and as much as I'd like them to succeed and return to their former glory, I don't think it's going to happen. They're in a pretty rough spot right now. They're on the verge of another civil war. Like nobody likes their leader right now. Religious tension is literally everywhere. It's
HIV is rocking the country.
Yeah, their economy is absolutely horrible.
Our church used to has like missions and stuff in Ethiopia, helping orphans and stuff. Like one of my old churches, it's not good. It's not good.
You wanna know when this all came tumbling down?
All right.
When they got rid of the monarchy. It's true.
No,
they got rid of the Solomonic dynasty, and it always
they got. It's not that they got rid of monarchy; it's that they added socialism.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Any more questions?
Elliot
says you guys do more live streams. Is there any more coming up soon?
Yes, if my computer doesn't break.
I don't think this will be like a very. I don't think so. This will be like a weekly thing or anything like that. It's usually just like It's usually just like maybe a monthly or every 2-month thing that we do. Just like a quick get together.
Work on our own YouTube channel.
Yeah, nice question.
I have a thing called.
Look at this question. Look at this
issues. Guy. I have a thing called issues, and that is what gets away in most of our live streams. So say,
look at the question of this guy.
Oh, who's this guy? Well, that's
it's not
question.
Me. No, that's not me. I have a different.
Who's this German Empire?
I have a different PFP.
But What's your guy?
No, I do.
What's your position on the LGBT community? Oh,
listen, I'm a very listen. I'm a very Christian guy. I'll
we all are. We all are.
I'll start this. I'm extremely Christian, right? And as much as I recognize it to be a sin and stuff like that, I think like there's plenty of other points in the Bible that says like if you sin, you have no reason, or you don't have the authority to judge others for sin. Only God can do that, right? So let people do what they want, but like at the same time, I will denounce. Like I'll still call it a sin, and I'll denounce like aspects of the LGBTQ community like I don't like, such as like the rampancy of child sexual abuse and like indoctrination of children and such like that.
Okay,
I don't really like the fact.
Okay, so I heavily disagree with them, but it's a free country, and God gave you free will. If you want to keep on sinning, you can keep on doing it. It's a free country, and as long as you're not doing anything bad, like let's say showing your butt off in the public or having sex with a kid, I don't care governmentally. But
I thought you were a libertarian. I thought those guys were like all for child porn.
No, libertarian.
No. No. Okay,
Stupid government intervention telling me age kids I can have sex.
Okay, so there's a few idiots who think there's a few idiot libertarians who think child porn is good, but in my opinion of it, a child cannot consent, therefore it is a violation of the non-aggression principle.
And obviously, like morally, it's not. No, you can't.
Yeah. There's morally, like it's wrong, like period, and legally, and ethically, and non-aggressionally. So,
all right. If anybody else doesn't have anything to say,
we got a question from Elliot saying, "How is it fair for the certain colonies to succeed and it's not fair for to do the same?"
What?
If the U.S. were to balkanize, could it ever be reunited in any way? I think we do like 2 or 3 more questions after this, and then I gotta go actually. But if the U.S. were to balkanize, would it ever be able to reunite? Maybe. I'm not sure. Like I feel like if it
really,
if it does, it would take like a pretty like strong like leader to like ring everybody back in, or in the very least, or like the more realistic scenario is if the U.S. does balkanize, if there was like maybe the one like biggest one, which is still like considered America, right? If they like do a civil war type thing where they like these aren't valid secessions,
like Germany.
Yeah, these aren't valid secession movements, and thus we're going to invade you and take you back and reintegrate you. I think that's the more realistic scenario.
In
my
opinion,
just like civil wars and takes everybody back.
By the time America would balkanize and then try to reunite, we would be so culturally distinct, it would not be able to do it. It would be like Ethiopia.
I don't, and also like along that point, I don't think it's going to happen. Like at least not.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either for a while. I just hope Texas gets out of it good.
Texas.
Rio Grande.
All right.
Remember the Alamo, the battle.
It says, how was it fair for the 13 colonies to secede, but it's not fair for the South to do the same? Okay.
History is written by the
victor. So first off, the colonies didn't have representation. Yes, the South did very much. I personally think secession should be allowed, but I do not support the Confederacy because their main reason for secession was slavery. I personally think if they were not for slavery, I would be supporting them. But
yeah,
they were, and they tried to centralize, and I'm like, no.
I think that America. Yeah, I've got Chicken's point. Like the reason why America seceded was because they had legitimate complaints and like valid complaints. But the reason why the South seceded was that they complained. Well, they were just scared that Abraham Lincoln would do his job and like fulfill the promises that he made, i.e., like getting rid of slavery. I mean, like I obviously like hate slavery. But me saying I hate slavery, but is probably the worst thing that's gonna come out of my mouth.
That's the 13th Amendment.
But I think that
they ban slavery, but in prisons.
But like the thing is, I think it was kind of like, I don't want to say stupid, but it was stupid of the Union to immediately think that like the South would drop slavery cold turkey and not expect like any economic like repercussions. Because as much as we hate to admit it, like the South was completely reliant on slaves for their economy, and so dropping them cold turkey would just completely flip their economy on its head. But I think that the South shouldn't have been crybabies, and like Abraham Lincoln even said, like, I'm not going to make you drop them cold turkey. Like his whole plan was to just slowly like move it out of the system until it eventually died out, which it probably would have. But the South got all pouty pantses and said, no, we want to have slaves forever.
The only thing I agree with the South is that states have the right to secede. That's my only.
I don't think that. I mean, like they do, but like I don't want them to because.
I don't want them to either. But Thomas Jefferson was saying states have the right to secede, just as they have the right to join the Union. So something like that.
Yeah. Anything else? Texas would attempt to reunite America under its uber American regime. United Texan Empire.
Texas would get SpaceX as their main contractor in space. Establish a space empire.
Elon Musk would legitimately become like a technocratic emperor of Texas.
I would take that. Molon Eos.
You would take that? You would take that?
Elon Musk is cool, okay? He's capitalist.
He's a businessman that likes.
I'm joking. I like Elon Musk though. I'm a fan.
I don't really like his cars designs. It's all sharp.
Any more questions?
I do agree.
Guy. It's a lot more.
Okay.
It's a lot less interesting without a leftist here, because it seems it's just like a lot of people. We agree on a lot of things.
If only Prometheus. Oh, look.
What's your view on the necessity of realpolitik?
That thing that Bismarck made?
Yeah, I think obviously realpolitik is based, but I don't think it would work right now because
it was based for unifying the German Empire.
It's because of hypocrisy.
Yeah,
it's hypocrisy.
Going to what Elliot said, it's the states or the 13 colonies were fighting against something that could be definitely perceived as like an evil, right? Like they had a moral good reason to secede, but the South didn't have a morally good reason to secede, so they seceded on like, I don't want to say evil reasons, and so the Union was seen as just like heroes trying to put down people in their country that were like doing bad things.
Even if you could, any place has the right to self-determination. I'm just going to say that. But again, I don't support the CSA, but I believe a state has the right to secede.
Didn't the British
Russian Empire makes an alliance with Texas for Christian unity?
I would not be surprised if that happened.
Tsar Nicholas visit.
Do you guys see my comment? My question.
I don't see
it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Don't want to comment. Remember what happened last
Bavaria takes over Germany.
No, it's still streaming. It's because of my OBS. But I asked.
Bavaria.
Yeah, I asked. Is it gay if it's with the boys?
Absolutely.
How is it gay if it's with the boys? It's homosexual,
just say no
not
homo.
Homosexual. It's homosexual, not homosexual.
Also, Elliot, I think that
I'm not for premarital eye contact, man. That's
I think
degenerative.
that states can succeed or can secede, and they have a right to secede. But I just don't want it. I just don't want them to secede. And if they don't have valid reasons, then if I was president, I'd be like, no, get back here. I'm
Do
gonna
you like
shove you
omelets?
back in this
No, we
big happy
don't.
family. Do you like omelets? I love omelets.
No.
Dude,
No.
omelets are great. I usually make scrambled eggs though, because I don't have like sausages that I can mix into my omelets. But
Almonds are
I have omelets all the time.
cringe. Almonds are cringe.
I love omelets.
I said almonds, not omelets.
Oh,
Oh my lord, I'm stupid.
omelets are great.
Oh no, they're not. I had to make them in home ec class.
Do you not like eggs? I can
love
tell.
scrambled egg. I love scrambled eggs with cheese. That's what I love.
Okay, good. I can tell what type of person you are based on like if you like eggs or not.
I like
what are we
scrambled
talking
egg
about?
with cheese. That's what I like.
Omelets.
That's what I like. Omelets suck.
We're talking about omelets.
He doesn't eat omelets. Well, like eggs
I like
are just
scrambled.
pretty much the best thing or the best source of protein you can probably give yourself.
Eggs with scrambled eggs with cheese is the best. Is the best eggs.
Literally, how I gain muscle is like at the beginning of every week, I just like boil like probably 12 eggs, and I put them in a container in my fridge, and then like throughout the week, I'll just like eat eggs whenever I'm hungry. And it's just like I get like such good protein from it.
Was a
What I'm
lot,
surprised during this
Doesn't matter.
live stream is that I didn't get gangbanged.
You're right.
I'm like that meme with the girl with the with all the black dudes. Like I'm the only libertarian in here in a room full of conservatives.
I mean, like we made a couple anti-libertarian jokes, but other than that, we more like literally like we probably joked on royalist harder for being a monarchist than we joked on you for being a libertarian.
Well, Radislav's a monarchist.
On neck. He hasn't talked.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's Polish.
He doesn't suck King Louis XVI's dong.
Okay.
All right. At least I don't think. Big government evil, my friends. No taxes, anarchism, but with perks.
You better.
I think I can take one more question.
You got new, man. Texas. You want Mexico to destroy you all at the Alamo again?
The Alamo is big.
Hey from Italy. Okay.
Hey from Italy. Sweet.
Hello from.
Oh, I love Italy.
Is it Benito?
I don't know. I don't think it's Benito. I think it's just an Italian. I got a buddy who's in Italy right now. His family's pretty rough. Half his family is Sicilian, the other half is Sardinian. So it's like pretty.
Oh, I bet that's fun.
Yeah, it's not a very fun family table, I'm told. Yeah, I can probably take one more question, and then I gotta go to the gym.
What's your favorite? I got a question. What's your favorite Greek god in mythology? Like for fun, like he's pretty cool.
Probably Hercules. I like the story of Hercules.
Guy asks.
I guess he's a demigod.
Okay, Guy asks, "What's the future of Christianity?" I'm not good at this, so I don't know.
Christian historian, we need you on this one. Come on.
Future of Christianity. I don't like thinking about it because I don't think it's very good. Because
Francis calls on the crusade.
There's one major threat, and it's just like the degradation of Christianity, and how many times like huge Christian figures such as the Pope. I mean, like the Patriarch doesn't bend the knee, but the Pope has been bending the knee to like political issues for years now, right? And also in America, like God, I think a Catholic America would be better than what we have right now, but it's just we have declining church attendance rates by a lot, right? Like I think the only division of Christianity that isn't in decline as far as like church attendance is Mormons, which is the worst case scenario.
Not the Mormons.
Yeah.
No, we don't talk about them.
The worst case scenario. The Mormons are the only division of Christianity in the world that has a growing church population rate.
Uh,
I think a lot of Western society is like gravitating towards like anti-religious things, like
Atheism.
a lot of gravitating towards atheism. Like a lot of children's public entertainment is like filled with anti-Christian rhetoric and such. Like even like Bill Nye,
Nickelodeon in general.
yeah, Bill Nye goes on like Cartoon Network and like has little ads saying like, well, this is how the universe was created and stuff like that. It's like, no, it wasn't. I think a lot of
so you guys remember the Bill Nye Ken Ham debate?
I don't.
I think it was like
Basically, Bill Nye debated Ken Ham, creationist.
I mean, I have faith. I think that Christianity won't ever. Well, I don't want to say ever, but I don't think Christianity will die out anytime soon. But I think that it will be in decline.
I think we'll.
Same with. I think it's only a matter of time that the same happens to Islam, because there's a slow creeping of like Western value, or not Western values, but like Western quote unquote culture that's like creeping into North Africa and the Middle East, and it's only a matter of time that like political problems slowly like just break down Islam and such.
I think Christianity could have a rebound though.
Yeah. And like honestly, like
it nearly happened during 9/11. Like nearly everyone was freaking out and they started going back to God. But then after everything was calming down, they decided, let's get out.
And honestly, like in the Middle East, there's a lot of like underground like Christian movements.
Yeah,
right?
there's like the Copts.
Like Egyptian Coptic Christianity is like on the rise. I think like
Saudi
there's two nations in the Middle East that have like that it's not Armenia or anything like that, but it's like two nations that you wouldn't think that have Christian authorities now.
Syria?
Yeah. I think in Asia Christianity is growing, especially in like China and such.
Yeah.
And
South Korea and Korea.
And South Korea and Japan. And yeah. So I think in the East it's a good scenario, but in the West it's not.
Yeah, that's the worst thing possible.
All right. One last question, then I gotta go. What would you say degrades culture the most? Honestly, family structure. The destruction. Yeah, the destruction of the classical, or not classical.
The useless society.
We live in a period.
We live in a period where politicians are not very popular.
I think that father absence, like the acceptance of abortion, a lot of things like I could also say like drugs degrade culture a lot. Yeah, it's just it's a big mishmash that I really don't like. Like drugs, family structure, and religion are like my two most like pressing political issues.
Live in a society.
Chicken stream on the live stream.
I'm streaming a Joker because someone said a society.
I think that Chicken, you're gonna hate this a lot, but I think that we should do what the Qing Dynasty did when they had the opium epidemic, where we completely ban all drugs for like 2 or 3 years, where like it's punishable by huge jail time. And then like during that 2 to 3 years, like the country will have enough time for like people who are drug addicts to either be like dealt with, or like they deal with themselves more likely. And I think that honestly they probably deal with themselves more, because if you say like, hey, if you're found to have drugs, you have a 20-year prison sentence, right? Like I think less people will do drugs, obviously. And so like I think that that could be a possibility. But also, like, part of it to blame is like Latin America and like the influence that cartels have had on like the urban cities and such, and like
I have
gang
something
culture
for you in
and
the
such.
general chat. I have something for you in the general chat.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, it's a middle finger. Sweet.
I sort of blame technology for like.
Yeah, I mean,
Industrial Revolution and its consequences.
Industrial Revolution and its consequences.
Industrial Revolution
and its consequences.
The growing, I think another thing is the younger and younger age that like kids are exposed to the internet is just awful, bro. Like, I mean, I'm saying this as a kid that like had internet access when I was like 7, right? It was not a good time for like the first like 3 to 4 years. Like, it's, but like, I turned out good.
We have Fortnite kids, and like we like Fortnite.
Well,
we like Fortnite. Yeah, that gives you a pretty
like,
much.
Well, I was playing with Legos at their age.
Dude.
So I was playing Legos. I was like watching like SpongeBob at like on a Saturday playing with my new Lego Star Wars set.
Dude,
I think that children's innocence needs to be like maintained a lot more than like it is right now, and a big part of that is like making sure that they don't have access to the internet, because the internet completely tears away your innocence, like when you're young, because like it's only
all have experience.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time until like one of them stumbles onto a corner of the internet, which like destroys that. Yeah,
there's YouTube Kids for a reason. There's a YouTube Kids for a reason.
Not even YouTube Kids is safe. Like a bunch of channels got arrested for like showing inappropriate stuff and making it look like the.
I mean, like as long as they're on a Minecraft YouTuber like Think Noodles, they're good. I used to watch Think Noodles so much when I was a kid.
Oh, like, Dan TDM.
I don't think kids
Dan TDM, man.
I don't think kids should open up YouTube and see Among Us sex mod. Right?
Like, no.
Please. Yes, I used to use Among Us. Why did we like it so much? But no.
Those dang Brazilian live streamers, they started this whole mess.
Yeah. I think one of the saddest things I see, especially in my high school, is that like I think it's like 70% of my high school like does weed. And I'd say like probably half of them are like straight up addicted to weed. I have a few friends that are completely undoubtedly addicted to weed, right? And it's just like, dude, you're like, all these kids are destroying their like lives before it even starts. They're like, they're going to go into college and adulthood having a crippling addiction to a substance, which is awful.
Look what your libertarian and freedom chicken.
So I think that primary problems of degeneracy is family structure, drugs, and like eradication of like the innocence of children. Right, like we treat children much more as like mature adults earlier than we should, right? And internet access. All right, boys. I was supposed to be at the gym 7 minutes ago. So I'll see you, gentlemen. It's been a nice live stream.
Yes. All right. This is the end. This is the end. We had a little technical difficulties, but we made it work. All right. See y'all sexy little sussites later.